group to be played simultaneously with Belize and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is a magnificent afternoon in Fort-de-France, and this a magnificent occasion. When they drew up the concept for Nations League, it was this precise group that you'd imagine they had in mind. All can be promoted, all but one could be relegated. 83 degrees and a gusty 17-mile-an-hour wind this afternoon in French Guiana as we approach kickoff in the game that really will tip the scales as to how the remainder of this group will play out. These teams have met on 3 previous occasions, and you could argue that Gold Cup qualifying carried a lot of weight in 2017, but this one will feel a little different. For Bermuda, it's simple. Win, and you've won the group, earned promotion into League A for the upcoming campaign. If they fail to take all the points, that's where things can get really crazy. Even a win for French Guiana, they may not earn promotion, as Belize is on the same goal difference at present. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a win and a draw here by the right margin could still find their way up. Here's what it looks like for French Guiana of late. Falling to Belize really put their position in a more tenuous place. However, defeating St. Vincent and the Grenadines in back-to-back games, putting them back on track. They have a chance here today. Well, for Bermuda, they did take care of Belize and St. Vincent and the Grenadines in their most recent game on Friday night. However, a 1-1 draw with Belize is why this group remains so tightly contested. Wow, what a game this is set to be. Bermuda and French Guiana. Now, again, they have met on previous instance. Bermuda has 1-1, French Guiana has 1-1. This is a couple of teams that on the Gold Cup stage have had really promising moments in the past decade, and that's part of why getting to League A doesn't seem all that far-fetched for either. They've recruited very well outside their borders, bringing in players that bleed their blood back into the country and allowing them to represent alongside a core of players that exist, in the case of Bermuda, on their island and within their domestic league, for French Guiana being within their borders as well. It's a French Guiana side with a winning all-time record in this competition. As you'd imagine, the expectation for them with a victory is that Belize will have a tough time with St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There's a high likelihood that a win probably does enough, but their eyes are going to have to drift, even if they do go ahead, knowing that while they do hold a tiebreaker further down, goals for, the goal difference is on level terms with Belize coming into the day. It may not just require a win, it might require needing to win by a lot. Bermuda hopes that it doesn't get to that point. They hold the simplest tiebreaker of them all. They're a point ahead on the last day. If they draw, there is still a way to be promoted. If they win, there's no doubt that they're going up and that they win Group C. And even if they lose, there's no way they can be relegated down to League C moving forward. They've got everything to play for. They also know that being foolhardy doesn't provide them as much benefit as you might imagine, as the draw could still see them as winners of the group. They play the anthem of the Nations League over the loudspeakers here in Fort-de-France. The classic pink kits of Bermuda march alongside the green of French Guiana. What an enormous, enormous game this is for the near-term sporting future of both countries. They did face off previous in the group, a 0-0 draw. Today, a chance to supplant the other in the standings on the final day. 90 minutes to decide the nature of the group. We'll hear the anthems meet the lineups. Kickoff is imminent in Fort-de-France. Bermuda and French Guiana. Only one can potentially go up. It's possible that neither could go up. Two simultaneous games. It's the wrench that Belize threw into this group with their performance. The only side of the group that's really failed to make waves on the international stage in the past 5 years. And yet they've hung in just long enough, swiped results just often enough, put themselves in a position to advance. Here's a look at the lineup for French Guiana. Abalenti is a well-known commodity up front. Ludovic Ball carries the captain's armband, and they arrive in a three-back with wingbacks Marmot and Gobert in wide areas that will try and provide support behind Loic Ball and Nemote, who is an outstanding attacking player off the left-hand side. Jose Torres of Puerto Rico will oversee the match with Pedro Figueroa and Cleon Lindley overseeing the match from the sidelines. Those are the captains. Dale Eve captains Bermuda, the goalkeeper, while Ludovic Ball, over 300 appearances in the top two divisions in France, wears the armband on his left bicep for French Guiana. We've seen what Jan Adoko has in mind. Gombe Warriors, it is good news for them. So often you play two games in this short a span and you're required to make changes. Bermuda know the occasion and they know the moment. Here's the lineup that they've assembled here this afternoon. They are without Zico Lewis for this game. Leverock, the center back, is critical to what they provide. Critchlow up front from Watford has scored almost at will in Concacaf competition. Oh, what a game. And for Concacaf Nations League, you could not have scripted this any better. So many of these groups are already well decided. In Group B, promotion relegation already decided with a game remaining. In Group A, it was really never close. And in Group D, Guyana getting beyond Puerto Rico in the dying embers of that group. Here we go, it begins. Two simultaneous matches to decide Group C in League B. Both can be promoted. French Guiana not yet safe from relegation. We're underway this afternoon in Fort-de-France. For Bermuda, they did handle their business on Friday, 3-1 over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Ahead in the 6th minute, 2-1 up at the half. And the goal shortly out of halftime, seemingly to lock up the result and avenging a 4-3 defeat back in September to that same St. Vincent and the Grenadines side. Ball. Away from Ball, held up by Donawa. Back to Dale Eve. For French Guiana, it's the loss to Belize that looms largest on Friday night, and it was a 90th minute goal that stripped away the chance to own the entirety of their destiny. For them, a draw could have been enough today, or they've lost the high ground on that eve now. French Guiana lost both their matches to Belize. Staggering overperformance, perhaps, by Belize. That's where they've gotten the vast majority of their 7 points now. Calino. Albert. Away from Nemute. Jaiso. Tucker. He scored in the 6th minute. Game on Friday night against St. Vincent. Tucker beneath it. His debut in the September window. The former Burnley player. Arrived at Turf Moor, a trialist at 15 years old. At the age of 21, finds himself cast out of the side. Legrand. Driven across by Marmol, and Abelinti getting the first crack at target sends this wide. Dale Eve has worked as high as the League Two in England. Continues his captaincy for Bermuda. Back by Dante Leverock. Harry Twitty, Martin, Tucker, Charlek. Attempting to penetrate through the right flank. Colino, 25-year-old, does hail from French Guiana. Well, if you're French Guiana, debuted in the Gold Cup now 6 years ago. Of course, drew Honduras in that tournament. However, that ended up being a competitive forfeit as Florent Malouda, the World Cup finalist for France, featured in that game. An illegality for sure. Quite the moment, nevertheless. A non-FIFA member sees a number of players eligible for them, equally, of course, eligible for France. Tucker. Streaking through midfield, it's Kane Critchlow. Has won a Bermudian free kick. Loic Ball is back up. It's his younger brother carrying the captain's armband this afternoon. Hustling free, another free kick for Bermuda. Seated by Nemute. Pierre Parfit playing in Finland now, another former West Ham player. Debuted the national team last year. Parfit offers. Good control from Tucker. Valente dropped in to win it. That was kept in on the line, and that assuredly out to touch. We will, in fact, be keeping an eye on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The first chip has fallen on this day that so much can change in just 90 minutes' time. Dale Spring has scored for St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the second minute of play. They do lead Belize, and they do now sit behind Bermuda only on goal difference. For St. Vincent and the Grenadines to go through, it requires them to really poke the perfect hole in the proceedings and send out for the touchline, and that a more assured clearance. A win for St. Vincent and the Grenadines over Belize, combined with a draw by Bermuda, would put both on 9 points. St. Vincent and the Grenadines would need to outscore Belize by 6. But then they would go ahead on goals scored as they entered the leading scoring but most conceding group, team rather, of the group. So Bermuda still controls promotion. If anything, Belize going down is a benefit to both these teams. Launch downfield, Golatin pulls it in, the 23-year-old netminder for French Guiana. French Guiana trying to avoid a similar fate. Their most recent promotion effort. Quite the contact. Leverock and Marmol. Enviable position for the referee too. He's going to show yellow since Marmol recovers to his feet, and so it is. Yohan Marmol carded in the 12th minute. Kritzlow. Another free kick for Bermuda in the attacking third. Whistle's going against Franz Galbert. And a free kick for Bermuda from a long, long way out. And Jai Tucker need to uncork something truly spectacular to score from here, but far more likely looking for a leaping head. Najai Tucker pitchforks that forward, no run nearly close enough. French Guiana failed to earn promotion by a mere 2 points. Throttled at Guatemala in the finale where a win or a draw would have been enough. Lost in penalties a couple of years ago in prelims at the Gold Cup as well at the hands of Trinidad and Tobago. Their Gold Cup journey was a short one this year as well. Dispatched by St. Kitts and Nevis in penalties in Fort Lauderdale after knocking out St. Martin in the opening game of qualifying the Gold Cup prelims. Abelente's penalty pulled French Guiana level in that game in June, but not nearly enough. It was an enormous game for St. Kitts and Nevis. Game I saw as a casual fan outside Miami. Into the final third, Danoa. He's usurped by Legrand. Danoa sent him backward. And the pressure for Bermuda continues to permeate. "15 minutes played in Fort de France. A win for Bermuda, and we take out really all the consternation of this occasion. For them, they would officially seal promotion without touching any of the tiebreakers. The latest free kick, won by Tucker. Tucker curling for the backside. That's simple for Golathen. And quickly distributes Ludovic Ball. The speed from Harry Twitty to catch him. Abalente. There's something here for Nemote. Well, there was. Charlec won the ball. Legrand. Marmol. Ball whipped across, looping header that Eve will collect calmly. Ultimately for Bermuda, their sole goal is to get a result here. Knowing a loss would certainly put them behind French Guiana. The earlier result in favor of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who took the lead in the second minute of their concurrent game, gives you optimism that may be all they need. They're now 20 minutes in there and still 1-0. St. Vincent and the Grenadines over Belize. If Belize were to win and this game finishes as a draw, what a remarkable story it'd be for Belize, reaching into League A for the first time. All successfully brought down by Simmons. Jai Bean working off Tucker. Bean, of whom much anticipated. A junior now at Duke University in the United States for one of the premier collegiate programs in the U.S. It's pretty regularly seen players drafted into Major League Soccer. Marmol did get a cross through. Skimmed away from the 6. Settled by Donawa. Advantage played. A substantial amount of consternation to that advantage. Parfait swings the cross into the waiting gloves of Golatin. That's one where play stops. You wouldn't be shocked to see a referee go back and give a card. If he doesn't, Jean-David Legrand will probably be playing on a pretty thin line moving forward. Worth noting again that French Guiana and Belize on the same goal difference. French Guiana more goals scored. So as it stands right now, the group would see Bermuda in first on goal difference over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. French Guiana ahead by a mere point, but if they were to go behind by multiple goals, they could drop beneath Belize and potentially be relegated into League C, which, to be fair, would lead to a pretty uneasy feeling for whatever group got drawn with French Guiana in the upcoming Nations League. That is not the side you want to see in your group. Here's Abelinti. Abelinti from a tight angle. Dale Eve made himself big and allows this ball to plummet over the end line for a corner. One of the great strikers in the lower leagues of Nations League, Arnold Abelinti has scored so many big goals. Battling Dante Leverock, whose reputation has begun to precede him in Concacaf as well. Leverock can score some pretty decent goals too, as we've come to find out. Corner. Abelinti got that wrong. If he got it right, it could have been truly sweet. Butterfield Stade. Lobbing for Bean. Offside. We've reached the midway point of this first half. Temperatures soaring into the mid-80s and quite humid in Fort-de-France. As a result, by any language, a hydration break. Now, Bermuda coming off the disheartening performance in League B, Group B in the most recent edition of Nations League. They watched Haiti promoted, and they did so without a loss. Quite the 6-goal run-up. Bermuda, however, 4 defeats in their 6 games in Group B in the most recent edition of the competition. Watch Guiana go to the Gold Cup prelims instead of them. This is not too far after the fact that they said initially we thought League B would be a good place there, and yet all of a sudden League A begins to sneak into your consciousness, and suddenly you gain a bit of belief that you could in fact compete at that level, as they continue to recruit well and develop players that have performed not only in Bermuda in their premiership, but that have left the island in pursuit of opportunity in England and the United States. League A doesn't seem all that far-fetched. Of course, Nations League looking a tad different this year in its multifaceted approach to qualifying. The Copa America welcoming its combatants from Concacaf out of the League A qualifying structure. That'll continue later tonight. A couple of honest barn burners. The United States did just narrowly, it turns out, get by Trinidad and Tobago in their effort to qualify for the Copa America, and with it, the Nations League finals. Panama has proven now, I think, quite clearly in the last 3 years, they are now in the top 4 in CONCACAF. They have most certainly usurped Costa Rica by most recent results. A 3-0 win in their first leg, a 3-1 win in the second leg of the quarterfinals out of League A. All the while, Jamaica trying to battle back from a 2-1 deficit against Canada. It's driven down to Marmol. And Mexico will look to handle their business later tonight against Honduras, who soundly beat them 2-0 in Tegucigalpa to reach the Nations League semifinal with a Copa America. If Mexico failed to advance at the Azteca, they would have to play in late March in Frisco against one of the other losing teams just to have a chance to go to Copa America. What a staggering miscalculation that would be. They fail to get by Honduras. That is one of the more truly stunning results. Recent CONCACAF memory with so much on the line. French Guiana angling into the top of the penalty area. Marmol. Well, that is better from French Guiana. On the reach of Abalenti, a corner for French Guiana. corner, French Guiana. Gobert kept it alive, saved by Yves Abalente! It is Albert Ajaiso who got there. Ajaiso opens the scoring for French Guiana. The long-range effort from Charlec turned away by Yves. And that's the 4 for French Guiana. Albert Ajaiso who opens the scoring in the 29th minute of play. And wouldn't you believe it, French Guiana ahead of Bermuda with a chance to qualify now for League A. And is Bermuda set to be left at the altar again? So the standings now would see French Guiana in first on 10 points. St. Vincent and the Grenadines ahead in their match on Belize, sitting on 9. Bermuda at 8. Belize on 7. All the while for Belize, if they do turn this around, they could turn this into a goal difference situation with French Guiana for promotion. That is the result they were looking for. Parfit, Butterfield Stade, fighting to win the ball free. Upfield from Nemote. That's Abalente, the 9 in green. Marmol making a winding wide run. Marmol in behind. Bulletin. Angling inward, this is intense from French Guiana. It's a simple save for Dale Yves. French Guiana is starting to create real opportunity now. 33rd minute, and they do lead. And the goal by Albert Ajaiso. By Butterfield Stede. His cousin Milan. veteran of the Bermuda national team. Legrand. Seeking Marmot. Kept this alive long enough. Ball. Loic ball now. Marmot. That drops in on the backside. And Ajiso from much further out. Winning Charlec. Current score lines hold. French Guiana promoted. Twitty on it once more. Kings Lyntown, center back, on a contract following the Island Games. They played him with Bermuda over the summer. Critchlow dropping in. Leverock. Parfit. Simmons. Simmons. Tucker. Not out of the reach of Legrand. And from Simmons, Tucker working off him. Donawa. Simmons. Donawa pirouetted inside, fouled by Ball. Perhaps Bermuda can pull back in front in the group and on level terms on the day from a set piece. St. Vincent, the Grenadines, and Belize remains on 1-0 terms in favor of St. Vincent. That is the result that French Guiana was looking for in the simultaneous match being played in League B Group C. Tucker attempted a bicycle kick is, well, never meant to be. We've seen it before, haven't we? From Leverock. Lost by Leverock. That is Charlek. Charlek once more, a regular in this competition. Central midfield for French Guiana. Entirety of their run in Nations League. Diagonal from Marmol was cut out. Foul from Keziah Martin. The Bostonian from Birmingham. Nemute. Good intervention for Bermuda. Corner, French Guiana. Won by Colino. The wind is whipping here. The flag has gone limp for the moment, but 15 or so mile-an-hour winds away from goal. That's why that drifted as far as it did. Gobert. Ball. Header down creates a whole new set of problems. However, they are unperturbed by the outcome. Low ball. Reverse from Critchlow. Twitty. Martin recovers. I have to wonder what's going through Michael Finley's mind now. Time around halftime was quite fruitful on Friday night against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Ball popped through, brought down, and lifted over the crossbar. That's the best chance yet for Bermuda. Parfit was hoping that would drop to him. It simply didn't. Twitty. Seemed promising. Polino. Knocked it off the young center back. Ball. That is Arnold Abalenti leading through. Ball whipped across, a touch from Eve. Perhaps a tad lucky that didn't catch more of him, otherwise it could have landed right to Marmot. Bean. Tucker. Kept in acrobatically by Dunawat. Simmons couldn't bring it up. Into first half stoppage time. Abalenti all alone. Abalenti wide. Oh, will that haunt French Guiana in the first of 3 minutes of added time. It was all for him. Ball laid it up. Keeper was out. He simply had to dink it over him. Came to a near complete halt. He heard the footsteps of the center back. And he missed an open goal. Bermuda just dodged a major bullet right before the half. Quickly thrown, injured player down for French Guiana. Tucker continues behind Simmons, recovered by French Guiana. Yanadoko spread out and angle upfield. Abalenti, surely a point to prove now. Navigating forward, fell to Abalenti. Advantage played. Pink shirts drop into a block. Charlek. Ball. Legrand. Marmot. Parfait. It will be the last chance of the half for Bermuda. And it may be no chance at all. Indeed, halftime. Bermuda came in leading the group. And now they'll need to come back to win this game, at least take a point. And they may still well get through. But they have opened Pandora's box on the goal by Albert Ajaiso, and French Guiana lead the group halfway through this final day in League B Group C. And Ajaiso in the 28th minute, the lone marker of the afternoon. Halftime in Fort-de-France, French Guiana 1, Bermuda 0.
defeated Nations League champion.
Set to begin the second half of play in Fort-de-France. French Guiana and Bermuda playing simultaneously with St. Vincent, the Grenadines, and Belize to close out Group C in League B, the Concacaf Nations League. And on we go. French Guiana get the first touch, and they hold the lead going into the final 45. A 6-game group stage. This would put French Guiana through to League A. Bermuda would remain in League B. They cannot be relegated. French Guiana, if they were to lose this match, suddenly in danger of that fact. A chance for Avalenti, gobbled up by Eve. 9th shot of the game for French Guiana. Simply been the more dangerous team. It's been a difficult one for Jai Bean in particular. He's hardly found himself in possession of the ball in positions such as these. Bean. Danawa. One toward Loic ball. And carried forward by Ludovic ball. Loic trailing. Gobert. Attempting to Spin free, Marmot. Throw for Bermuda. When does their tempo increase here? It's got to get going for Bermuda. Simmons. French Guiana playing in this 5 made it so difficult to find any room out here in the wide area. Butterfield Stade breaks it down, sends that at Golatin. Golino, Nemute, ball. Golino, Ludovic ball. Ball bouncing through, Avalenti. Kept alive in the far post, header snapped in, Loic ball. It might be time for French Guiana to advance to League A. Waiting till the last day. French Guiana are now very much on the verge, 2-0 ahead. Just got over Eve. And a simple finish for Loic ball. And now Bermuda really in the hole. French Guiana are on the cusp, moving to League A. Ball falls kindly, and a rolling shot met by Golatin. Denying King Critchlow. No one said going to Fort de France would be easy. But Bermuda may well have fumbled the bag, entering on the last day with the advantage. Ludovic ball. Could possibly be more here. Marmot now ball. Bring play back. A set piece for French Guiana. This is suddenly becoming very tenuous for Bermuda if they concede a third. Hard to imagine a clear path back given the way they've performed on the day. Nemute over the ball for the corner. Nemute, headed to the top of the penalty area. Charlec has got a cannon. Here come changes. Reggie Lamb, Roger Lee off the bench. soccer is done. And an injured player for Bermuda. I could argue Lamb is the best option you have to find goals off the bench. Roger Lee's been around the block quite a bit as well in his 10-year professional career. Simmons back up. St. Vincent and the Grenadines holding on to their second-minute lead over Belize. French Guiana at present top the group on 10 points. St. Vincent and the Grenadines on 9, Bermuda on 8, Belize on 7. Another change. It's Reese Jones. And Simmons incredibly has to come off. Bean. Out of the reach of Jones. Attempt to work the give and go, got snuffed out. Free kick, Bermuda, 10 minutes into the half. Right now a draw would still be enough. Bermuda simply need 2 goals. French Guiana hold the key to League A at present. Lamb, the newcomer, Martin. '23-year-old Martin from Kidderminster into Boston United. Left all alone over the ball. Martin. Header steered, goalkeeper very blasé about that. Colleton's got it off the head of Harry Twitty. Butterfield Stade. Lamb now given away by Twitty. There's Abalenti racing ahead. This time he's met by Leverock, and still he can't find the goal. Everything but tonight, hasn't it? Corner, French Guiana. Taken out of the air and lashed to frame. Once more, this one well above the bar. Charlec first, then Marmot. Legrand. Still work to be done for Ajaiso. Bermuda have won it. Only to see it out at the end line. Milton celebrates good defending. Dangerously into the final third, French Guiana. That's a letdown from Marmot.
Go. Joel. Charma Sangomi, man.
Well, ricocheted, but that ultimately came down for Bermuda. Ludovic Ball pushes this out to touch. An hour played in Fort de France. Still, it's French Guiana ahead. Bermuda starting to find just a tad more joy, although this given away cheaply short of the halfway line. And now through for French Guiana. The flag is down. Abalenti steps over. Twitty intervenes. Butterfield Stade. Parfit inside, back to his feet, Bean. Charlec. Nemute. Abalenti. Arnold Abalenti. kept in. Valenti was waiting, and he may have actually eked himself into an offside position. Nevertheless, it continues from the end line. The cross cleared. Ball. Corner was deflected by Parfit. Change coming. You can see Abelinti snap his head back. Sarkul comes in. By Eve. Sarkul, outstanding goal-scoring threat. This is, in theory, strength to strength. And Abelinti surely will be kicking himself that he didn't walk away with a goal today. Nevertheless, it might still be enough for him to see League A football in the upcoming Concacaf Nations League. That's Twitty latching onto his right ankle and foot. It's one way for Sarko to introduce himself. By Gulatin, and a quick incursion for French Guiana into the attacking half. Ball straight down the middle for Nemute. It's offside. Jaiso wins a free kick. This is it for Bermuda, subwise. Todd and Scott replace Martin and Bean. Bean did not have the year he was hoping for at Duke this season, did not have the game he was looking for today. The ball simply never found him. And Scott, Todd joined Lamb, Lee, and Jones. It's the 5 subs for Bermuda. A 3-1 win on Friday had them holding all the cards coming into the finale. Even a draw could have done the job. And the further we go now, the less and less likely that appears. In fact, a draw would have been enough. As it's shaping out right now, it's the 68th minute between St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Belize. About 20 minutes to play. Bermuda on 8 points coming into the day was the leader in Group C. 3 could go down. Bermuda was safe, but all 4 could have gone up. Into the penalty area still, Nemote successfully wanded away by Bermuda. And this loss would see French Guiana on to 10 points. St. Vincent and the Grenadines lead against Belize. Belize would need to come from 2 goals down. That a single goal down, they would need to, however, outmatch French Guiana's goal difference. So in theory, they need 4 in that game. Increasingly unlikely. I'm going to win and hope that Bermuda can pull level. There's still a number of permutations. Twitty. Field from Lee. Todd. Parfit had less time than he thought. Field Stade. Twitty. The results of the day would see Belize relegated despite all the good work they did in the group stage. Twitty. On the field, Stade. Off by Colino. Hydration break. As we conclude this group, Group C, you'd have to say the best of the finales to watch, these 2 games. So St. Vincent and the Grenadines does lead Belize 1-0. That's in the 72nd minute. 5 of the 6 second-half shots in that game belong to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All the while here, 2-0 to French Guiana. What does that mean? It means St. Vincent and the Grenadines would avoid relegation, inch up to 2nd place. They jump Bermuda in the process. French Guiana would go top of the group on 10 points. And Belize would remain on 7. And see their fortunes turn drastically. They could have won this group and instead could be relegated down to League C. Elsewhere in Group D, Guyana and Puerto Rico set to play later this evening. Could both go up. Antigua and Barbuda and Bahamas could both go down. In Group B, it's already been decided. Dominican Republic, Montserrat, they'll stay. Nicaragua going up, Barbados going down, and in Group A, what a turn of events. St. Kitts and Nevis, from the high of the Gold Cup, relegated to League C, while Guadeloupe are going up, and St. Lucia and St. Martin will remain in a group that has already completed its action. The relegation out of Ligue A, Curaçao and El Salvador, Haiti and Grenada are all going down. No whistle at all it is with Bermuda. And League C is already done. Bonaire, Dominica, and Aruba are going up. The Cayman Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands, Turks and Caicos Islands, Cayman Islands are all up against it. Or rather, Anguilla, Cayman, USVI, BVI, and Turks and Caicos staying down. St. Martin, Bonaire, Aruba, and Dominica going up. Colino back to his feet. Skims off the head of Janai Butterfield Steed. Guiana finished second in their group, most recent. Wins over Guatemala and the Dominican Republic and Belize, but they also dropped points to all three. That's why they didn't go up in the first place. Danawa. Ton of English on that. Jones kept in at the end line remarkably, and a Jaiso, beneficiary of that hard work done by Johan Marmol. This would be the first time French Guiana will taste League A. It's a group that has started to make their presence known a bit more on the international stage. Went to the Gold Cup for the first and still only time, 2017. Ludovic Ball, part of that team back then. Bermuda, they have to move now. Free kick, dangerous from Albert Ajaiso. His goal still stands as the potential winner. All brought in by Scott. Lamb. Closest they've come in quite some time. The former Ipswich Town youth. Soroku's been pretty heavily involved since coming into the game. He has not been even remotely dissuaded from a tough tackle or two. Eve. Ball splays over the line. Twitty. A lot of objection. Lamb did win the ball back. Lee. Now Lamb. Parfit. Charlotte got a piece, picked up by Twitty.
Changement pour la Guyane, sortie numéro 21, Loïc Ball.
That's it for Loic Ball. 49th minute. The insurance. Florentine off the bench. Second sub utilized. Spinning, Nozil. Arriving in the collision with Marmol, substantive. And they've called for the stretcher for Marmol. Here's a high likelihood, as the collision was with Reece Jones. This is going to be the game that finishes last. This injury combined with the hydration break here in the second half should mean that despite simultaneously starting both the first and second half, that St. Vincent, the Grenadines, and Belize will be complete. Belize could still avoid relegation. They simply need to find an equalizer against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In this game, Bermuda is about 8 minutes away from fumbling the bag. All they needed was a draw here in Fort-de-France, and at times it certainly looked like they played that way. Seed in the 29th minute, and while they've picked it up in the final 15 or so minutes of the game, maybe too little, too late. Twitty. Hammered out by Lamb. Donawa. Danawa crossing. Is a corner for Bermuda. Lamb will have a second unimpeded cross. Instead, he's driven inward. Has support down the line. Butterfield Stade. Danawa. Lee. Corner. Jice overtaken by Twitty. Parfit. No. On the line before it ever even began. Bermuda intended to continue an upward trajectory. It appears they've plateaued once again here in Nations League. Eve will come forward to put this back in play. Precious few minutes remain. A goal for Bermuda could really light this candle. Oh, that elbow from Leverock. Catching Marmot. Oh, Bulletin. That clearance allowed Bermuda into the penalty area. This is right outside. It is a yellow to Charlec, it appeared. And whatever hope Bermuda still has, they ride on getting something from this.
Carton jaune pour le numéro 8 de la Guyane, Zidane Charles. À la 87e minute.
Zer Parfit moved from Hamilton to California at 8. Played with San Jose Earthquakes. It was there that West Ham got their first look at him. He now features in Finland. Does Parfit have something magnificent in him? Can he beat Gulleton? Parfit. Lazille. This as much about time as it is trying to find a third, one would imagine. Nozil got the end line. Sent that around to Eve. Flicked right at the goalkeeper. He's come up a bit lame. Free kick, French Guiana. And a yellow card to Andy Todd.
Carton jaune pour le numéro 20 des Bermuda au Todd. À la 82e minute.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines have scored 2 goals in 2 minutes and made it 3-0 over Belize. And so it appears that result all but settled. French Guiana now, if they win this, can assuredly win the group. There's no more question about where Belize stands in all this. And all the while, Bermuda, if they come back to poll level, would still hold the goal difference advantage on Belize. What this also means is Belize appear certainly now poised to go down to League C. So St. Vincent and the Grenadines have avoided relegation on the last day, and it appears French Guiana has stolen promotion away from French Guiana, or rather from Bermuda, on the last day. Nobody remained in the position in which they began the day. Into stoppage time, 5 added minutes. Looping around the outside. High arcing cross. Header from Donawa. Drops in front. Saved! Goal of 10. Bermuda's best chance to get back in it. Right at the goalkeeper. And Leverock knows that's Bermuda's best chance to add a chaotic element late. Nozil. Instead, it begins again through Harry Twitty. 4 more minutes. Everybody's forward for Bermuda, and they've broken this up. Nozil. French Guiana have not been on the biggest stage in Concacaf by any measure since 2017. They are 3 minutes away. Eve. Lee. Heavy touch, Nozil. Attempt to circulate, maintained by Butterfield Stade. Golatin. Goaltend will send this as far as he can. Ball whisked across. There's another goal. Saraku. Surely French Guiana going to League A now. The celebration is on. Guiana Doko are going to League A. An 80-yard boot downfield, a bit of confusion. Florentine came in to help kill the game off, and surely now he has. Joel Sarku adds yet another Nations League goal. In the 90-plus third. Free kick, Bermuda. St. Vincent the Grenadines 3-0 up on Belize. That's nearly done now. French Guiana have done the job. Boy, have they done the job. Belize will go down. And St. Vincent the Grenadines, by their victory, and Bermuda by their defeat, hold the second and third positions, respectively, in Group C. French Guiana cede a corner in the dying seconds. Another throw as that escaped the touch. This will likely be the concluding action this afternoon. Long throw in. Attempt to whip it back by Scott. Jones. They'll allow this to play through. Nozil, taken back by Bermuda. It's full time in Fort-de-France. It is a famous win for French Guiana. Promoted to League A, defeating Bermuda on the last day in Group C. And they will now compete on the grandest stage in the region. Promoted to League A for the first time. And Bermuda left to sulk. They led this group entering the day. A draw, it turns out, would have been enough. They know the results across the groups now. And French Guiana at their new high water point can point to that crest with immense pride. Mission accomplished for Jean-Claude Darcheville and French Guiana as it finishes French Guiana 3, Bermuda 0. Bermuda and French Guiana meeting in the Concacaf Nations League from Fort-de-France. All Bermuda would need, it turns out, is a point from this occasion. And an early yellow card issued to Johan Marmot. That was in the 12th minute, and that felt like a bit of a turning point. A lot of possession for Bermuda. They didn't create much. Gradually, we saw French Guiana begin to really sink their talons into this game. Ball set up for Charlec. In the 29th minute, the save by Yves turned right into the path of Albert Ajaiso. The 29th minute that would prove to be the winner tonight. Go ahead for French Guiana. They continue to attack into the latter stages of the first half. Eve down to meet that. And halftime arrived. French Guiana, knowing that St. Vincent the Grenadines had pulled ahead 1-0 in their game. Opposite this, meaning this win would surely see them through should that result hold. They were in search for another. Abelinti, no. However, Loic ball in the 49th minute, right out of halftime, putting French Guiana 2 goals ahead. A number of set pieces for Bermuda, a chance. Charlotte committed the foul there to try and pull within 1. However, they never did. Perhaps their grandest chance to do so fell right to Dante Leverock. Goalton a save. And in stoppage time, simply trying to take time off the clock, he launches it the length of the field, tipped across. And Joel Saruku comes in off the bench and adds the finale. And French Guiana promoted to League A for the first time. The celebration is on in Fort-de-France, and why not? Look at the final stats, 14-8, shots in favor of French Guiana. They were the more intent team. They are the more intense team of the day. And now promoted for the first time by virtue of a 3-0 win over the previous group leader, Bermuda. For our entire team in Fort-de-France and beyond, Mike Watts saying, thanks for watching this edition of Concacaf Nations League. Bermuda remain in League B. French Guiana are promoted to League A. Belize goes down. St. Vincent and the Grenadines are safe. So long for now from Fort-de-France.